Defensively for the Yankees, Clete Boyer at third, Tony Kubek at short, Bobby Richardson at second, Bill Skowron at first. The outfield from left to right, Hector Lopez, Mickey Mantle, and Roger Maris. The battery for the Yanks, Ed Ford and Ellie Howard. Now working his way in from the batter circle to the left of home plate, young Jackie Brandt, who's been one of the stalwarts in this surprising Baltimore team here in this exciting 1960 pennant race. Gene Woodling will be on deck. And the old redhead will be with us in just a moment to start you off on this big night game here in the start of the 4-game series against the Birds. Red?
We have a change in the umpires. Larry Knapp is the umpire back at home plate. Frank Dumont is down at first base. John Stevens is at second. And there's the first pitch ball. Bounce to the left field for a base hit by Jackie Brandt. And the Orioles have started hitting Ford's first pitch. Walt Brandt walks up there, hitting at 262, and promptly bounces a single over third into left field. Hector Lopez retrieves, makes the throw to second, and Brandt is on with a base hit. That's the first pitch of the evening. And here is Gene Woodling, a battle-tested veteran. Woodling hitting 282, and remembered very well and personally for his great feats here as a Yankee. Left-hand batter in a severe crouch right off the plate. There's a curveball over for a called strike. Ford pitching, Howard catching. Down at first base, Richardson is starting at second. Kubek is at short, and Boyer at third. Lopez in left field, Mantle in center, Maris is in right. Whitey catches under his first. You know he has that wonderful balk move. He pitches, and Woodling takes strike two. That was a slider that caught the inside of the plate at the knees. Called strike two. No balls and 2 strikes. And the big series of the year at the big ballpark is begun. Whiting, gone ahead now, 0-2, delivers, and Woodling, strike 3. Woodling checks his swing, and the pitch is over. Gene stopped the pitch a little bit to plate umpire Larry Knapp. Knapp says, no, he had you. And now we have Brooks Robinson. They call him Mr. Impossible, the way he makes those plays down at third base. He's hitting 295. This is quite a group of young stars that Paul Richards is challenging with. Robinson, a right-hand hitter. Then fairly close to the plate. Outfield straight away. Takes slow inside, ball 1. And sitting over by the Yankee dugout is a man whom many regard as the greatest ball player that ever lived, certainly one of the two, and that's Ty Cobb, who is here for the series. Folks are still coming in. It'll be a tremendous crowd. Late as day tomorrow. Time is called as Ford is ready to pitch, so there's no pitch. Count holds ball 1. And, of course, the doubleheader Sunday. We have 1 man out. No score. Runner at first. Lumen Harris is the third base coach for the Orioles. Jimmy Adair coaching at first. Outfield straight away on Robinson. Whitey checks his runner. Pitches. There's a curve swung on and missed, and it is strike 1. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Howard settles down on his haunches. He'll give the sign in a moment. Larry Knapp, the ball and strike umpire, standing straight back of the catcher. Now crouches slightly. There's the pitch. Swung on and bats to third. Boy up where he goes to second. Richardson 1 out. Throw to first. Double play. That was around the horn. 5-4-3. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. No errors. And the score at the end of half an inning. The invading Orioles nothing, and the at-home Yankees coming in.
Sparkling double play turned in by Boyer, Richardson, and Skowron to nullify a potential Baltimore attack. You know, for many people, a home just wouldn't be complete without a great big wood-burning fireplace in the living room. It certainly makes a room cozy on a cold winter day. But from time to time, you've got to clean the chimney if you want to get good results from it. And this is just as true in the carburetor of your car. For best performance, you should remove deposits that form on the carburetor walls under normal driving conditions. These deposits can cause frequent stalling, rough idling, and actual gasoline waste. Now, you could have an experienced mechanic do the job by hand, but that's doing it the hard way. The easy way is with Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that cleans your carburetor as you drive. You see, as Atlantic Imperial flows through the carburetor, it loosens and dissolves those harmful deposits, washes them harmlessly away. Then, Atlantic Imperial's protective action keeps them from forming again. Today, more and more people are driving with Atlantic Imperial in their cars. It's the gasoline that cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean. Leading off for the Yanks here in the bottom of the first, it'll be Bob Richardson, to be followed by Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle. Robinson, Hansen, Breeding, and Dropo, the infield for the Birds. In the outfield, Woodling, Busby, and Jackie Brandt in right. Steve Barber and Gus Triandos, the battery. Red.
Hitting 247, taking a strike. Barber throws hard. So do all of these young Orioles. Estrada throws even harder. He's going to be out tomorrow. The strike one pitch, low inside. Curve, 1-1. Tomorrow afternoon, it will be Estrada of Baltimore against Shirley of New York. Baltimore will send Fisher and Pappas against the Yankees in the doubleheader Sunday. Richardson takes low inside, ball 2. And Stengel is going to start out of the 3 pitches. Terry, Stafford, and Ditmar. 2 of them, of course. All right, 2 balls, 1 strike. Dropo with a left-hander, Whitey Ford starting, is at first base for Baltimore. Marv Breeding is at second. Ron Hansen is at short, running for Rookie of the Year. Third baseman is Brooks Robinson. Pitch is just inside, ball 3. 3-1. Gene Woodling in left field. The center fielder is Jackie Brandt, who got the first inning single before the double play wiped him off. And the right fielder for Baltimore, Brandt is in right field. There's ball 4. Busby's in center. So a walk to Richardson. So the leadoff man for each inning gets on. And outfield for Baltimore again is Woodling, Busby, and Brandt. Now we have Roger Maris stepping in. Roger hitting 281. 102 RBIs and 38 home runs. We have no score. Nobody out. Richardson at first. A curveball is over to the left-hand hitting Maris, and it is a called strike. The rest of the American League schedule is under the lights tonight. We'll have bulletins on that for you. That's Boston at Washington, Chicago at Detroit, Kansas City at Cleveland. And we'll watch particularly the White Sox-Tiger game. A pitch is swung on and missed. He threw him a curveball, strike 2. The National League has 3 night games. This afternoon at Chicago, where they have no lights, Los Angeles won 5-4. No score here, so you're up to date all around. And the evening will continue growing. The pitch is the curve outside and low, ball 1. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Maris sitting and Mantle on deck. Roger, midway of the box. Takes strike 3 call. Just above the knees on the inside. Now we have Mantle, and the switch, of course, is coming up to that right-handed. Gus Triandos back to the plate for Baltimore. Hitting 280. Outfield shades him around into right. There's a fastball high outside, and it is ball 1. Ralph House coaching at first base for New York. Frank Zazzetti coaching over at third. Crowd still coming in. Pitch is low inside, ball 2. 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Richardson, who drew a walk, first up last of this first inning, is at first with 1 out. We have no score. Mantle has a favoring count of 2 balls, no strikes. Young left-hander Steve Barber taking a little time before he has to pitch 2-0. Now he's ready. He deals. Mantle swinging at a high foul out of play in the right field corner. All right, Mickey came around late on the fastball, and it is 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Barber fussing around a little bit. Going for the rosin bag. He's a solidly built young man. But there's a curve in there for strike 2, 2-2. He's a Maryland boy. Two balls, 2 strikes. Infield double play death. Throw to first, and Richardson is picked off. Dropo lugs him towards second. Throws now, and that's it. He is out. He threw the ball to the second baseman, and Richardson was past the second baseman, who threw it on to the shortstop, who was anchored at second, and Bobby is out, picked off. He was picked off. The pitcher to the first baseman, to the second baseman, to the shortstop. So that was a big play. 1 to 3 to 4 to 6. Bobby almost got him to second. Now the 2-2 pitch to Mantle. It's swung on a miss, strike 3. And that ball was sinking. So we have the leadoff batter for each inning of the first round get on, and then a double play by the Yankees, and then the pickoff of Richardson. So we only have 3 fellows hit. So the total to no runs, 1 hit and no errors for Baltimore, no runs, no hits and no errors for New York at the end of the first inning.
Beautiful pickoff motion by Steve Barber there. He caught Bobby Richardson flat-footed. As Red told you, it went from Barber to Dropo to Breeding to Ron Hansen. Quick look at the Valentine scoreboard. In the only action this afternoon, the Los Angeles Dodgers defeated the Chicago Cubs. Larry Sherry besting Shapernoff in a duel between 2 relief pitchers. Elsewhere in the National League, 3 night games. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati, San Francisco at St. Louis, and Philadelphia at Milwaukee. In the other action in the American League, everything tonight, Boston at Washington. We have a couple of pitchers for you. DeLocke going against Cobb. Kansas City at Cleveland. It'll be Garver against Slim Jim Perry. And in a game that a lot of people will be watching here on the scoreboard, Chicago at Detroit. The pitchers have not been announced as yet. Bill Tuttle is homered for Kansas City in the top of the first, and they're still batting. They lead Cleveland 1-0. Red?
The National League, Los Angeles 5 and Chicago 4. Philadelphia at Milwaukee, Pittsburgh at Cincinnati, and San Francisco at St. Louis. All right, Walt Dropo, big tall right-hand hitter, hitting .270. Been used as a spot man this year. Takes a pitch low inside. Curveball toward his chin. Ball 1. Whitey Ford is carrying this pivotal assignment for the Yankees. Dropo, slightly open stance. Pitch. Fastball outside, and it is ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0. They play this fellow to pull around in the left. Outfield is back deep also. Whitey's over for a called strike. Just above the knees. 2-1. Curley against Estrada tomorrow. Tomorrow's ladies' day. The 2-1 pitch. Low inside. Ball 3. 3-1. Howard turned around as soon as the pitch got into his mitt for a look at plate umpire Knapp. Sort of shook his head. Knapp says, nope. Low inside. 3 balls, 1 strike. The Orioles worked out at the stadium yesterday. Walter swings and hits the ball down the right field line. Foul. He was swinging late. 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes. Whitey setting the sign from Howard. Pitches. Dropo swings. It's a high pop fly. Second baseman Richardson out into right center field is under it. He's got it. And we have 1 up and 1 out. And now we have the shortstop, Ron Hansen, who seems to be well in command for a Rookie of the Year. He was chosen by the ball players in the league as the starting shortstop for the All-Star game. He's hitting .258, has knocked in 79 runs, hit 21 home runs. So he can not only field brilliantly, but he can also hit. Very tall fellow. He's about 6'4", and he can move, takes a low outside curve. Ball 1. We have no score. 1 man out. Second inning. Pitch is change of pace in there for a strike. 1-1. After this tremendous series, the Yankees have 2 more series at the stadium, Tuesday night and Wednesday afternoon with Washington. The Senators are battling desperate to hold on to 4th place, and they've got the fellows who hit the home run. 1-1 pitch, fastball high outside, ball 2. And then the Yankees are home for the final 3 days of the season. The last day of the month, which is Friday night, and then Saturday, October 1, and Sunday, October 2 with the Red Sox. And this thing can go right on down to the last day. Who knows? A 2-1 pitch. Change of pace going on. Ground dead foul outside third base between the coacher, Luman Harris, and the bag itself. All right, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hansen is the fella who early in his minor league career came up with back trouble, a disc, and was operated on without a whole year. The way he plays, the surgeon really did a job on him. All right, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down, no score, nobody on. Inning 2. Pitch is swung and missed. That was Whitey's screwball and his second strikeout. Now we have big Gus Triandos hitting .261. And speaking about surgery, he had an injured nerve in his hand and had to have surgery on it right after the season began this year. He couldn't hold the bat. He was out a month and back again. Swings and has a ground foul. He smothered it. It dies as it goes to the third base coach, Luman Harris, who retrieves the ball, throws it out to the mound. In case you wonder why the umpires will let a coach examine a ball and throw it to the pitcher, well, the coach is on the opposing team on the pitcher, and if he found a spot on the ball, rest assured he wouldn't throw it to him. Whitey with 1 strike on Triandos. Pitch is a curveball, low inside, ball 1, 1-1. Ball and a strike. One of Ford's 4 wins over Baltimore this year was the last time the Orioles were here when he beat them 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch, fastball good. Waste time on the outside, 1-2. The last time the Orioles were here, the Yankees beat them 2 out of 2. Then the Yankees went down there and lost 3 out of 3. One-two pitch, swung on, Foul back. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 up. No score, nobody on. If you just joined us, Brandt hit the first pitch of the ball game for a single for Baltimore, and Robinson hit into a double play. That's Baltimore's offense so far. Richardson first up walked for the Yankees and got picked off. And Steve Barber struck out Maris and Mantle. We've had the first 2 men retired here in the second inning, and 1-2 pitch to Triandos. It's fouled back again, and it's still 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Yankees have made their last Western trip. Even though they lost their last 2 at Kansas City, they won 5 of their last 8. Meantime, Baltimore, to get at this height, has won but 3 of their last 7. 1-2 pitch is a screwball, low outside, ball 2. 2-2. Whitey doesn't want to work with that baseball. Played umpire Knapp makes 6 change. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two. Left-handed deal. The change of pace is popped up high into short left center. Here's Mantle coming in. Kubek going out, and Mantle makes the catch. The ball was up very high. So we have nothing across, and the score at the end of an inning and a half remains Baltimore nothing, New York nothing.
You know, not too many years ago, a lot of people had to draw their water by hand from an old-fashioned pump. Well, that's getting water the hard way. And you'd be surprised how even today, some jobs are still being done the hard way. Like cleaning the carburetor of your car, for example. Now, the hard way is to have an experienced mechanic take your carburetor apart and clean it by hand. But now there's an easy way. Atlantic Imperial gasoline actually cleans your carburetor as you drive. You see, as Atlantic Imperial flows through your carburetor, it loosens and dissolves harmful deposits that have formed on the inside walls, gradually washes them away. And what's more, Atlantic Imperial's protective action keeps them from forming again. Today, more and more people are using Atlantic Imperial gasoline. It's the gasoline that cleans your carburetor as you drive and keeps it clean. Here in the bottom of the second, Bill Skowron, Hector Lopez, and Ellie Howard. Trio of right-handed batters to face the brilliant and diminutive Baltimore Orioles southpaw Steve Barber. Boston and Washington, no score at the end of 1. A's lead Cleveland 1-0 at the end of 1, and no other scores are in as yet. Red. Same thing with Estrada, who's going to pitch tomorrow. Turns loose, Bill Skowron, and checks his swing, but the ball hits his bat, glances off the foul tip, and strike 1. Skowron hitting 304. Just a second. The ball got off the catcher's mitt and not off the batter's bat. So it's ball 1. Larry Knapp turned around to explain because look for a moment ago on that check swing, the ball glanced off. Make it ball 1 instead of strike 1. Skowron, the one regular, hitting 300, 304. At the most hits, 150. Fastball is outside, ball 2. 2-0. Steve Barber pitching, Gus Triandos catching. Dropo at first base. Breeding, who's another rookie, is at second. Shortstop Hansen, a rookie. And a fellow who just barely passed the rookie stage by a season or so, Brooks Robinson at third. Then you got a pretty veteran outfield. Woodling in left. Busby in center. And Brandt, they got him during the winter from San Francisco in right. The 2-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. That was a top curveball. Looked like a slider. 2-1.
balls, 1 strike. Low inside, ball 3. Again 1. Pitch, high outside, ball 4. John walks to start out the last of the second inning. Second pass, given up by Steve Barber. And now we have Hector Lopez, who hit some timely home runs as well as some other hits on his last trip. Lopez batting .279. For a while there, he was on a home run a day. Barber in position. Pitches. Low inside. Ball 1. 1-0. Dropo holding first base against Skowron. We have nobody out. Last of the second inning. This is the opening game of the big weekend set here at the stadium. Infield and double play depth. They're not looking for the bunt. Lopez takes, and it is too low. Ball 2. 2-0. Two balls, no strike. Triandos runs out to the mound to talk to this 21-year-old left-hander. Settle him down a little bit. Barber 6'1", weighs 193 pounds. He will not be 22 until late next February. The 2-0 pitch is over for the strike. 2-1. Sort of eased up on it and had it over. 2-1. No score here at the stadium. Skowron at first, nobody out. Last of the second. Pitch is in there. Slider, called strike 2, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Steve checks Skowron at first. Pitches. Lopez swings and misses. Strike 3. This is his third strikeout out of 4 outs. In fact, he picked Richardson off for his first out, and as far as retiring batters are concerned, he's retired all up 3 on strikeout. Now we have Elston Howard. Howard hitting at .252. Picked in close to his hip. Ball 1. Backs out of there, looks at Cruzetti. Cool reflective force, Casey Single's instructions. Outfield is back into right on Howard. Pitch is a curve low inside at the kneecap. Ball 2. See, the outfield laid back into right on Elston, who's a right-hand hitter, indicates that Barber is going to pitch him outside. They figure Howard will be hitting to right and right center. You can tell a great deal about what the defensive thinking is by the position of the man out there. The 2-0 pitch is swung on and grounded foul outside third base. Skowron was going. All right, 2-1. Moose returning to first. 2-1 count. 1 down. Many possibilities, of course, hanging over this series, including Chicago. The 2-1 pitch is high outside, ball 3. Of course, as the baseball fans have been discussing it, and as the ball players have been discussing it, and the writers have been writing it, if either one of the ball clubs should sweep this series that takes 3 games, it would be quite a jar to the one that gets beat here. If the two teams should split, for example, Chicago, if they win, could come right up into the thick of it. Strike 2, and there's hard. There's Skowron. They took a long lead off first, started for second. Triandos didn't hesitate. He threw prematurely to second base, and Skowron ducked back to first. On a play like that, when a man has committed himself, Skowron was he was almost halfway to second base. On a play like that, the catcher has to hold his throw. He should run after the runner and make the run, and keep the runner pinned until he commits himself. But Triandos immediately threw to second, and Skowron immediately went back to first. 3-2, the pitch is swung on and fouled back. Moose was running. So Casey is apparently coming out with a running game. He had a running play on for Richardson, and Bobby got picked off at the first inning. He ran prematurely. Skowron was saved just now because Triandos threw just immediately without stopping to think down to second base ahead of him. Let him get back. I know Ty Cobb sitting down there in a box. I bet he laughed himself to gee, they didn't throw that way on me. Georgia Peach is here. He's sitting down on Mrs. Casey's single. He was out there standing back of the cage watching the Yankees hit. All right, no score. Howard up there, 3-2. They throw to first. Nothing doing. Moves it back. And look, Single comes out of the Yankee dugout and is claiming to the umpires that ball for ball. They did not step toward first base with his foot. Oh, man, everybody's keyed up. The 3-2 pitch, high outside, ball 4. Howard walks. Skowron moves on to second base. Third walk given up by Barber. And that is his pattern. He has stuff, but is erratic. Throws hard. And he strikes out and he walks it. The way he's been pitching all year. And if you look down at the scorebook, he has now walked 3 and has struck out 3. Now the Yankees have an opportunity. They have men at first and second. Skowron was given a life just now. And the hitter is Boyer. He's taken over third base. Batting 240. Right-hand batter. Infield double play depth. And Boyer swings at a slider on the outside and doesn't get it. Strike 1. Left-handed set. Good fastball. Pitching. Fastball swung on a high fly. It's out to short left center. And let's see. It is caught by Busby. And he had to come a mile to do it. It looked until he finally got there that he couldn't make it. That's one reason Richards has him out there, thinking this might be a tough ball game for runs, and he wants the fleet-footed, experienced Jim Busby. But Busby made a fine running catch of a high fly ball to left center. And the hitter is Tony Kubek. Left-hand hitter. Pitch is swung on and missed. Boy, he's booked that one right off the knuckle. One pitch, high inside, and it is ball 1. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Skowron has been given a second life out there as a runner. And the Yankees have been given a 4th out, in actuality. At second base. Howard at first. The pitch to Kubek is high inside. Ball 2. 2-1. Barber wishes to work with another baseball, and plate umpire Knapp accommodates him. All right, 2-1 count. 2 men are out, no score. They're playing for the marbles. Left-hander ready. Delivers. Good. Low outside. Ball 3. Kubek hitting 8th on the left. That means that the pitcher, Whitey Ford, will follow next if Tony gets aboard. All right, a 3-1 count. There is no stirring in the Baltimore bullpen, in case you are curious about what may or may not be going on out there. And wait a minute, just as I said that, they start getting up. They are now getting up in the Baltimore bullpen. Right this moment. All right, Barber, after trying to cool himself off, pitches 3-1, and it's swung on a ground ball to the right side. Second baseman Breeding over to Dropo at first, and Kubek is up. No run, no hit, 2 left. And the score at the end of 2 innings. The Orioles nothing and the Yankees nothing.
Little tension there in the bottom of the second as the Yankees had something on the fire. Got runners as far as first and second with 2 down, and Kubek couldn't deliver. So Ford works his way back out to the mound for the Yanks, while Ellie Howard puts on the tools of his trade. Coach Ralph House out to help Whitey warm up. For Baltimore in the top of the third, it'll be the bottom third of their batting order: Jim Busby, Marv Breeding, and Steve Barber. We still don't have the starting pitchers at Detroit, the White Sox against the Tigers. As we told you at the end of 1, Boston and Washington no score. And now at the end of 2, Kansas City 1, Cleveland nothing. And the Dodgers defeated the Cubs this afternoon in the only afternoon action in the major leagues, 5-4. Crowd getting a big kick here as some real rabid Baltimore fans marching through the stands with their good luck bird signs. Boy, there's a lot of them up tonight from Baltimore, and they're thoroughly enjoying it, as we hope you are, all along the line on the Home of Champions Network. Red. Now we have Jim Busby hitting 250, right-hand batter. Swinging and fouling the pitch off. Pitch it down into the dirt. The Orioles had Busby for a while this year down at Miami. Nothing, 1 pitch. Swung on and fouled into the stands back of the Yankee dugout. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Nothing in 2. Pitch. Swung on and lined on 1 off, so 1 bounce to the second baseman, Richardson. Goes to first to Skowron, and Busby's out. Ball batted down. Made an easy bounce for the second baseman. We have 1 away. Now we have Marv Breeding, the rookie second baseman, hitting 271, and he's done a wonderful job. He's a quiet type of player. He makes his plays look sort of routine. There's a ground ball that is hit slowly up to third. Boyer charges, throws over to first, and he's out by a running stride. 2 up, 2 down. Nice play by Boyer, but the folks around here are accustomed to seeing him make nothing but nice plays. 2 out. Now we have pitcher Steve Barber, who is a left-hand batter. Pitches left, hits left. He has 3 hits for 50 at-bats his rookie year. Tilts the bat slightly. Open stance, takes the strike over. Nothing in 1.
Well-seasoned left-hander, Whitey Ford ready. It's a no-score game. There's a curve swung on and fouled, and he gets Howard back on the right hand. He rings it. He walks out to the mound. Larry Knapp hands him another ball, and Elston starts gripping it with his right hand. He got stung. Whitey comes up the mound and is talking to him. Howard takes the ball, throws it to third base to Boyer. And he's looking at the hand. Whitey's standing talking to him. Knapp is going out to talk to him. Howard wants to throw one or two. He wants to use the hand once or twice to throw the ball back and forth to third baseman Boyer. And he says, okay, the hand's all right. All right, strike two. You're always immediately apprehensive when the catcher's hit on the bare hand. A two-strike pitch. Curveball inside. Ball one. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Outfield in short. Baltimore pitcher takes the fastball inside. Ball 2. 2-2. Whitey trying to finish the top of the third inning. Nothing out of the opposing pitcher. Delivers. Strike 3 swinging. He does just that. Throw him a high curve. Third strikeout for Whitey. 1 inning. And the score at the end of 2.5 innings. Baltimore nothing. And New York nothing. Red. Call strike to Whitey. Steve just laid that banana with something on it above the knee. Left-handed pitches in there for strike 2. 0-2. Deals. Curveball over. Call strike 3. Oh, Whitey is out of there, and that's 4 strikeouts for Barber. The 2 left-handers are off in high gear. Now we have Bobby Richardson, who got on in the first inning with a walk and then was picked off. Bobby hitting .247. Steve delivers, and Bobby takes the fastball high outside. Ball 1. Richardson changed his seat as though he might run up on the ball and try and hit it to right. Ball 1. Outfielder steps back into right on Bobby. Fastball is low. Ball 2. 2-0. One out. Last of the third. Pitch is high outside. Ball 3. 3-0. Steve looking down at the dirt. He's had a problem of learning how to control his temper out there on the mound. There's 3-0 pitch. A strike. Richardson took 2 steps to first and is recalled by the umpire's decision, and of course that gets the crowd howling. Always does. All right, 3-1. Bobby takes the flash. That's Crescenti. 3-1 pitch. Strike 2. Right in above the knee. 3-2. So the string is out. Always a very genuine indication of realistic interest in the ball game is how many working pressure here. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4, low inside. Richardson walks for the second straight time. 4 walks given up by Barber. He struck out 4. The working press sector is completely filled, and you might be interested to know that there are several of the regular Chicago White Sox writers here. Now we have Roger Maris. Took the third strike in the first inning. Hitting .281. Infield double play depth, 1 out. Richardson at first. Maris takes the curve low outside. Ball 1. 1-0. No score, run at first base. Outfield is round toward right on Roger. Takes the curve, low outside, ball 2. 2-0. Barber checks first. Pitches, Mary swinging, fouls it back. 2-1. Left-hander being a little more deliberate, fighting his control. He's ready. Pitches, Mara swinging and hit the line drive to second base. The Breeding throws to first, not in time. Richardson got back. Roger broke his bat. He hit the ball just above his hand. Sort of a not too hot a line drive out to second baseman. 2 men out. One is still at first. Both scoring the batter is Mantle. The left-hander ready, delivers, and Mickey hits a ground ball through third base out into left field. Richardson goes for third. Woodling throws to second to see that Mantle stays at first. The ball died as it went into left field, and Bobby, as he came to second, hesitated, saw that Woodling would have to come on to get it, and made third base. Woodling threw on into second to be sure that Mantle, who can run, would be retained at first. So Mickey singles through the hole between third and short. This is the first Yankee hit. And runners are now at first and third, and this is the first runner to reach third base tonight for either side. The batter is Bill Skowron, who walked in the second inning. Barber set. Delivers. Skowron falling back from a pitch. Accidentally fouls the ball off. Strike 1. 0-1. Big crowd seeing 2 big ball clubs fighting for the Big Apple. All right, 0-1. That's the count. No score. 2 men out. Moose. Menace is a strong fella. Right-hand hitter. Swings and fouls it off. 0-2. Barber is somewhat erratic in his control, but that baseball, when he throws it, is very erratic. It jumps and it darts. If he can make it move. All right, he's gotten 2 quick strikes on Skowron. Bill up there hitting at 304. Outfield a step back into right, and that's playing Skowron to pull Steve. The pitch is a fastball outside. Ball 1. 1-2. Richardson is at third base. Mantle is at first. Barber delivers. Breaking ball low outside. Ball 2. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Steve walks around, takes the pitch of the rotten bag. Now he steps up on the rubber. Takes the sign from Triandos. The 2-2 pitch is swung on to the hard pop fly. First baseman Dropo lets it get out of the way, and the second baseman Breeding makes the catch. Breeding held him off the ball and caught it. So, Triandos popped up a high fastball. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. In the 3 innings, the totals are identical. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors.
You know, to get the most out of your car, you've got to put the best care into it. And your Atlantic dealer gives it the best with a safety service lubrication. First, your car gets a complete lubrication according to its manufacturer's specifications. And then he checks and services many other vital safety areas. You can depend on your Atlantic dealer. He's the man that knows and he cares about your car. So see him soon, won't you, for an Atlantic Safety Service lubrication to keep your car on the go.
In the Tri-Cities area, Yankee baseball comes to you exclusively over Quality Modern WOKO 1460 on your radio dial in Albany, New York. WOKO time, 6 minutes. 6 minutes before 9 o'clock.
Been pecking away at Barber, but they haven't been able to break into the scoring column. You see now, the Yankees have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 base runners. The Birds have had 1, a leadoff single by Jackie Brandt, who was erased on the double play ball by Robinson. And now it's that same Brandt here in the top of the 4th to lead it off for the Orioles, to be followed by Woodling and Brooks Robinson. An old-fashioned pitching duel here between 2 left-handers, Barber and Whitey Ford. And now here is Phil Rizzuto.
Lots of tension, not only out on the field, but in the stands and up on the radio and television booth. Here's Whitey's pitch to Brandt. It's low inside, ball 1. Brandt batting .263. On deck, Gene Woodling. Ford swings into the windup. Fastball is inside, ball 2, 2-0. Elston Howard picks up a little dirt, rubs it on the ball before firing it back to Whitey Ford. Baltimore just 1 percentage point behind the Yankees. Another game tomorrow afternoon, a big doubleheader on Sunday. Now the 2-0 pitch. Strike call, the fastball letter high. Whitey came inside on that time. Mantle is shading Brandt over in left center field a little bit. Not too deep. The 2-1 pitch, a curve low inside, ball 3. It almost hit Brandt in the foot, and he goes down on one knee. 3 balls, 1 strike on the Orioles' leadoff hitter. Clear, crisp night here tonight at Yankee Stadium. Now the 3-1 delivery. Strike call, the fastball right down the middle, belt high. Full count on Jackie Brandt. Whitey checks the sign from Howard. Now he's ready. The payoff pitch to Brandt. A fly ball to not too deep left field. Hector Lopez is moving in under it. And makes the catch. That's 1 away. That'll bring up Gene Woodling, who struck out in the first inning. Gene took Whitey's first 2 fastballs right down the middle and then went after a bad curveball. Something you very seldom see Woodling do, though he takes a lot of pitches. He hardly ever swings at a bad pitch. Woodling and Steve Barber, the pitcher, the only 2 left-hand hitters in the Baltimore lineup tonight. The pitch to Woodling is a line drive. Base hit to right field. Bobby Richardson gave it a good try, went as high as he could, but couldn't reach it. Woodling lines a single to right. That's the second hit off Whitey Ford. That was a high curveball. Brings up Brooks Robinson, who bounced into a double play in the first inning. Robinson batting .295. Woodling was up there batting .281. On deck, Walt Dropo. No score here in the top of the 4th. The stretch by Whitey. Pitch to Robinson is a strike call. Fastball right in there. Ford had retired 9 men in a row since Brandt opened with a single before Woodling singled here in the top of the 4th. Skowron playing in back of Woodling at first base. Curveball outside, ball 1-1-1. Robinson with 23 doubles, 9 triples, and 12 homers. Having a real fine year. One ball, one strike on the Orioles' third baseman. Here's the stretch by Whitey. Curve, bought it down straight. That's going to be a base hit. No play. They don't even make a play. A perfect bunt single by Brooks Robinson caught Clete Boyer back at third base, and Clete just picked it up, didn't even make a throw. Woodling at second. Brandt at first. That's hit number 3 off Whitey, and here's Walt Dropo, who popped out to the second baseman in the second inning. Robinson bunted a curveball in on him. It went right down the third baseline, about 2 feet fair, all the way down, stopped dead between home and third. The infield deep in double play depth. The outfield deep and a little bit around towards left on Dropo. Batting .268. The stretch by 4. Pitch to Dropo. Curve, line foul. In back of first base into the seats. Strike 1. Dropo hasn't played too much this year. Been in 73 ball games. Has 8 doubles, 4 homers, and 21 runs batted in. On deck, Ron Hansen, the shortstop. Woodling leads off second. Robinson off first. Here's a stretch by Whitey. Curve foul at the plate, strike 2. 0-2 on Dropo. Whitey Ford and Walt Dropo have faced each other many times in the big league. Runners at first and second with 1 out. 2 strikes on the hitter. Whitey sets. Fastball is high, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Clete Boyer guarding the third base line. Here's the stretch by Whitey. Fastball, foul tip. Off the chest protector of Elston Howard. Count holds it 1 ball and 2 strikes. Larry Knapp looks at the ball, then throws it back out to Whitey. One away, no score, top of the 4th. Woodling at second. Robinson at first. Dropo the batter. Whitey sets. Checks Woodling. Kicks, delivers. A fastball hit on the ground. Is short. Kubek to Richardson for 1. Back to first. It pulls Skowron off the bag. He saves it first. Richardson's throw, and Bobby had plenty of time. Pulls Skowron off the bag. It's a force play. From short to second. Dropo safe at first. Woodling moved to third. Runners at first and third. 2 outs. And the batter, Ron Hansen. There's no error on that play. On deck, Gus Triandos. All right, the stretch by Whitey. Curveball is high, ball 1. Hansen has had himself a good year. Batting .258. But he has 79 runs batted in and 21 homers. Dropo leads off first, Woodling off third. The stretch. Slow curve outside, ball 2. 2-0. Hansen's got power to all fields. The Yankee outfield playing him straight away and deep. Lopez in left, Mantle in center, and Maris in right. All right, Whitey gets the sign. Curve over, strike one. 2-1 the count. That was almost a quick pitch by Whitey. Looked like Hansen wasn't ready for it. Here's the stretch. Fastball popped in the air to short right field. Roger Maris coming in. Still coming in and makes the running catch. Boy, he came a long way. That's a ball that Bobby Richardson usually takes. But it was so high, Bobby figured it'd be easier for Maris. And so for the Orioles in the top of the fourth. No runs. 2 base hits. No Yankee errors. 2 men left in the score at the end of 3.5 innings. Baltimore nothing and the Yankees nothing.
You know, unless you're an expert mechanic, you've probably never tried to clean the carburetor in your car. But actually, with new Atlantic Imperial gasoline, this is something that can be done easily by anyone who has a driver's license. You see, Atlantic Imperial is especially designed to clean your carburetor as you drive. Yes, sir, with the very first tankful, new Atlantic Imperial starts to remove harmful deposits that normally form inside the carburetor. Accumulation of these deposits can cause loss of power, rough idling, and actual gasoline waste. Use new Atlantic Imperial in your car. It's the gasoline that cleans your carburetor as you drive, and it keeps it clean. As Phil told you, Maris had to come a long way for that fly ball into shallow right field, and he made a nice running catch. Here in the bottom of the fourth now, it'll be Lopez, Howard, and Boyer. Here's Phil.
Steve Barber pitching to Hector Lopez. The first pitch is a low, ball 1. Lopez struck out swinging in the second inning. No score. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. Young Steve Barber ready. Kicks, delivers a curve in there. Strike 1 call. This youngster has what they call in baseball lingo a live fastball. It's moving all the time. There's nothing straight about it. Just 21 years old. 1-1 pitch, slow curve, hit high in the air to right field. And going way back there, making it's a home run. It was off his glove. Jackie Brandt leaped up in the air, got his glove on it. It bounced out of his glove into the seats. A home run. Jackie Brandt leaped high in the air. That ball was just inside the foul pole. He got his glove on the ball and bounced into the seats. A home run for Hector Lopez. The Yankees lead 1-0. For Hector, his 9th homer of the year and his 38th run batted in. Here's Elston Howard, who walked in the second inning. Pitch to Elliott, swing and a miss, strike 1. So the Yankees break away to a 1-0 lead. Nobody out and nobody on. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 0-2 on Howard. That was the second base hit off Steve Barber. That ball just kept drifting. It was very high. Didn't look like it was going to carry all the way. But it was hit in the right spot, I'll tell you that. The 2-strike pitch. High inside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On deck, Clete Boyer. Barber goes to the rosin bag. Fastball hit on the ground is short. Hansen up with it. Throws to first in time for the out. Hansen had a little trouble finding the handle of that ball as it bounced off the heel of his glove, but he got that good arm and nipped Howard. One away. Here's Clete Boyer, who flied to center field in the second inning. Pitch to Boyer. Foul tip back, strike one. That was the 9th home run hit off Steve Barber this year. 1 out, nobody on. Yankees 1, Baltimore nothing in the bottom of the 4th. On deck is Tony Kubek. Lined up by the left-hander. Fastball is high. Ball 1, 1-1. Now the 1-1 delivery is a ground ball hit slowly to third, but taking foul. Brooks Robinson picks it up in foul territory. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Boyer comes trotting back from down the right field line. He was going hard all the way. Wasn't taking a chance on that ball, possibly kicking back into fair territory. One ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Curveball is popped in the air in foul territory. Robinson under it and makes the easy play. Boyer hit that right off his fist. That's 2 out. Here's Tony Kubek, who bounced out to the second baseman in the second inning. 1-0 the Yankees lead. Barber into the windup. The pitch to Kubek is right in there. Strike 1 call. The 1-strike pitch is right down the middle. Strike 2. 2 fastballs. Right in there. Now we're ready for the 2-strike delivery. Curve, pop foul back in the upper deck, out of play. Nothing in 2 on Tony. Barber rubs up the new baseball. Out, nobody on. Barber ready to wind up. Fastball, strike 3, swinging. Barber racks up his 5th strikeout of the night, but the Yankees break the ice with a homer by Lopez. 1 run on 1 hit. No Baltimore errors and nobody left in the score at the end of 4 full innings. The Yankees won, the Orioles nothing, and we pause for station identification.
At 1460 on your radio dial, this is Quality Modern, WOKO in Albany, New York. WOKO time, 11 minutes after 9 o'clock.
Hector Lopez got a nice round of applause as he started out to his left field position. In the American League, Boston nothing, Washington nothing at the end of 3. DeLocke against Staub. Cleveland 3, Kansas City 1 at the end of 4.5. Garver against Perry. Tuttle home at the Kansas City. De La Hoz, Romano, and Francona all home in the 3rd inning with nobody out. Chicago at Detroit, it's Wynn against Larry. In the National League, the Phillies at Milwaukee. Buzz Hart against Spahn. Phillies failed to score in the top of the 1st. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. It'll be Haddix against O'Toole. The Dodgers beat the Cubs this afternoon. Sherry in relief of Drysdale, the winner. Chappanoff in relief of Wright, the loser. Frank Howard home in the 6th with 1 on for the Dodgers. The Giants at St. Louis, it's Marichal against Simmons. The Giants failed to score in the top of the 1st. And right now, I'd like to mention that the second half of this game is being brought to you by Ballantine Ale, the only ale that gives you the big, big taste that comes from Brewer's Gold. Try a Ballantine Ale. It's the genuine.
All right, with the Yankees leading 1-0, Gus Triandos, who flying to center field, leads off for Baltimore here in the top of the fifth. Whitey Ford out on the mound, swings into the windup. Slow curve, low outside, ball one. On deck, Jim Busby. Yankees scored on a homer by Lopez. The 1-0 pitch, fastball, swing and a miss, strike one, 1-1. Big Gus holds that bat right down on the end. Fastball hit foul deep down the right field line. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Whitey rubs up the new ball. Good, cool night tonight. That'll keep the pitcher and the ball players real strong. All right, ready now for the 1 ball, 2 strike delivery. Curve line to left field, a base hit. Ford came in with an overhand curveball that time, and Triandos lined it out to left. That's the 4th hit off Whitey, and it brings up Jim Busby, who bounced to second base in the 3rd inning. Skowron holding first against Gus. Stretch by Whitey. Pitch to Busby is in there, strike one call. One strike on Busby. Triandos with a short lead off first. Fastball foul right over towards the Yankee dugout and right in the dugout, strike 2. On deck, Marv Breeding, the second baseman. Ford sets again. 2-strike pitch, high, ball 1. Ron Harris coaching at third, and Jimmy Adair over at first for Baltimore. One ball, 2 strikes on Busby. Here's a stretch. Slow curve is low, ball 2. 2-2. Whitey almost fooled Busby completely on that one. He had him off stride, but the ball broke a little bit too low. 2-2 the count. Baltimore trailing the Yankees 1-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. Here's the stretch by Whitey. Fastball line at center field. Mantle coming on. He can't get it. It's a base hit. Triandos holds at second base. Busby lines a single at short center. And the Orioles threatening with runners at first and second. Nobody out in the bat of Marv Breeding. Breeding bounced to third in the 3rd inning. Elston Howard out to the mound and off at Ford. Baltimore out hitting the Yankees 5-2, but the Yankees leading 1-0. Jim Coates is up in the Yankee bullpen. Skowron playing in at first, Boyer in at third. Here's the stretch. The pitch is high, ball 1. He was not going to bunt that time. I guess Paul Richards figures, at least on that play, with the pitcher coming up next. Even should Breeding advance the runners, Ford's got a good chance of striking them out. See how they play it now. Here's the stretch. Pitch.
is popped foul and back in the upper deck out of play. Strike one, 1-1. Breeding looks down at Lum Harris, who glanced in at Paul Richards, the Orioles skipper. They switch signs all the time, having hitting away on one pitch, bunting the next pitch. Try and keep the defense off balance. All right, Triandos at second. Busby at first. The stretch. The pitch is popped in the air to the infield. The infield fly rule is called. Breeding is automatically out. Skowron makes the play. Both runners hold their base. So the Orioles did not go for the sacrifice, and Breeding popped up to the infield. With one out and runners at first and second, that'll bring up the pitcher, Steve Barber. Barber struck out in the third inning. Barber bats him left-handed. He has 3 base hits in 51 at-bats this year, has 1 run batted in. No extra base hits. Wide open stance, chokes way up on the bat. Boyer in at third, Skowron in at first, looking again for the possible sacrifice. Here's the stretch. Skowron charging in. He bunts. He takes it. He started the bunt, pulled the bat back, and it was a strike. And Skowron ended up about 5 feet in front of the plate. Boy, he was running from the time Whitey kicked his right leg up in the air. 1 strike on Barber. On deck, Jackie Brandt. 1-0, the Yankees lead, top of the 5th. Here's the stretch by Whitey. Whitey steps off the rubber as Kubek broken back at second base. Again, Whitey sets. Pitch is outside. That time Barber bluffed the bunt and turned around, ready to swing. The pitch was outside. Skowron must have guessed something because he only came in about 5 or 6 steps and stopped. One on the pitcher. Triandos leads off second. Busby off first. The stretch. Pitch is popped foul and not high enough to allow Howard to get back there. The ball landed on the playing field, but it didn't go more than 10 feet in the air and hit about 3 feet in front of a lower box seat just this side of the Orioles dugout. Howard never had a chance to get near it. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Hector Lopez is playing right and back of shortstop. Mantle shallow in center. Maris is fairly deep in right. Triando's going to have a tough time scoring in the event that Barber did get a base hit. All right, here's the stretch by Whitey. He bunts foul, strike 3. He tried a bunt with 2 strikes on him and bunted foul. So that's Whitey's 4th strikeout of the night. Runners remain at first and second. And the batter is Jackie Brandt, who singled and fly to left field. 2 out, 2 on. Yankees leading 1-0 in the top of the 5th. Whitey wants a new baseball. Larry Knapp flips it out to him. Now Whitey's ready. Takes the sign from Howard. Runners lead off first and second. He's taking a lot of time. Now he stretches. Fastball is outside, ball 1. Again, Whitey sets. His pitch is line to left center field. Lopez coming in fast. Under it now. Makes the catch.
And so for Baltimore in the top of the fifth, no runs, 2 base hits, no Yankee errors, 2 men left. And the score at the end of 4.5 innings of play, the Yankees 1 and the Orioles nothing.
During the summer weekends ahead, a lot of you folks will be planning cookouts, picnics, enjoying all sorts of good food out of doors. And as any good cook knows, it's important that you take along the right drink to give extra zest to your food. And that's why we recommend refreshing, deeply satisfying Ballantine Ale. The drink that's brewed for you to enjoy anytime, but especially at mealtime. The only drink that gives you the big, big taste that comes from Brewer's Gold. Now, this is a rare strain of hops used exclusively in Ballantine's own true ale recipe. You'll find Brewer's Gold makes Ballantine Ale more than a thirst quencher, different than any beer. So get Ballantine Ale in those handy 6-packs, quarts, or the regular 12-ounce bottle, and discover what a difference an ale makes.
In the bottom of the fifth inning, it'll be Whitey Ford, Bobby Richardson, and Roger Maris to face Steve Barber, the Yankees leading 1-0. Whitey was called out on strike in the third inning. All right, Whitey took a little time to come out of the dugout. Here he comes. Whitey Ford, who through the years has been one of the top Yankee clutch pitchers. When they needed a big game, Whitey was there. All right, here's the pitch to Ford. He takes it inside, ball 1. Left-hander Steve Barber ready. The pitch to Ford is a ground ball to the shortstop. Hansen up with it. Over to first in time to get Whitey. Barber dove for that ball headlong and landed flat on his stomach, stretched out. It was hit off the fist, but it was an easy play for Hansen. 1 away. Bobby Richardson up twice, walked both times. Bobby was picked off first in the first inning, reached third base in the third inning, but was left stranded. Yankees 1, Baltimore nothing, bottom of the fifth. The pitch to Bobby. Strike call, fastball just above the knees. The 1-strike pitch high outside, ball 1, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch to Richardson. Curve inside. Ball 2. 2-1 on Richardson. All right, here's the windup. 2-1 pitch, a ground ball to first base, a base hit in the hole between first and second. Dropo broke towards the bag, and Richardson gets a base hit to right field, and that's hit number 3 off Barber. Here's Roger Maris, called out on strikes and lined out to second base. Right up to this point, Steve Barber has walked 107 and struck out 107 on the year. Pitch to Maris, a curve high, ball 1. One out. Richardson at first. Yankees 1, Baltimore nothing. Bottom of the fifth. On deck, Mickey Mantle. Stretch. The pitch is hit deep. Oh, that one's gone way back. Way back. A home run for Maris.
a tremendous drive just alongside the Yankee bullpen. Maris now has 104 runs batted in. Boy, he hit that curveball deep. The Yankees now lead 3-0. Home runs have accounted for all the runs. Here's Mickey Mantle, struck out, single to left. The pitch to Mickey, a foul at the plate, strike one. Yankees 3, Baltimore nothing in the bottom of the fifth. On deck, Bill Skowron. Pitch to Mickey, inside, ball 1-1-1. The 1-1 pitch, curve high inside. Ball 2-1 on Mickey. Roger Maris leading the American League in homers now with 39 and RBIs with 104. Ready now for the 2-1 delivery. Curve high, ball 3-1. The 3-1 delivery, a swing and a miss, strike two. And Mickey really had a ripple at that pitch. Here's a payoff pitch to Mickey. A foul, look out. Foul right over our heads. Count holds at 3-2. Billy Heft, the left-hander, is up in the Orioles bullpen. Barber ready. Again, the 3-2 delivery. Foul at the plate. Ball hit off Triandos' foot. Gus limping around home plate a little bit. Three balls, 2 strikes on Mickey Mantle. 1 out and nobody on. Yankees leading 3-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Steve Barber ready. Pitch to Mickey is inside, ball 4. 5th walk given up by Barber. That's the 2nd time Mantle has walked. Here's Bill Skowron, who walked and popped to second base. That was Mickey's 107th walk of the year. Here's a stretch by Barber. Pitch to Skowron is a foul. Back, strike 1. On deck, Hector Lopez. 1 out. Mantle at first. Mantle with a short lead off first. Dropo holding him on. Fastball in there, strike 2 ball, 0-2. Barber quickly stretches. Third popped in the air. The second baseman, Marv Breeding, going back. Mantle's running. There's only one out. It'll be an easy double play. Mantle's around second. Breeding throw to Dropo, doubles him off. Mickey Mantle thought there was only one out and ran when the ball was popped in the air to second base. And Mickey is an embarrassed young man right now. For the Yankees, in the bottom of the fifth, 2 runs on 2 hits. No Baltimore errors, nobody left in the score at the end of 5 full innings. The Yankees 3, Baltimore nothing as we pause for station identification.
Yankee baseball, yours exclusively over Quality Modern, WOKO in Albany, New York. WOKO time 27 minutes before 10 o'clock.
Nothing, the Yankees lead. Other games, Boston nothing, Washington nothing at the end of 3.5. Cleveland 4, Kansas City 1 at the end of 5.5. Chicago failed to score in the top of the first. The Tigers are batting. Phillies nothing, Milwaukee nothing at the end of an inning and a half. Pittsburgh 1, Cincinnati nothing at the end of an inning and a half. Dodgers beat the Cubs this afternoon 5-4. And the Giants lead St. Louis 1-0 at the end of 2. Remember, the New York Football Giants open defense of their conference title at home on Sunday, October 16th at 2:05 p.m. Doesn't seem like it, even despite all the baseball activity still before us. And this exciting pennant race, that football is right on our tail. All right, here's Gene Woodling, who's 1 for 2. Takes a pitch low, ball 1. Woodling struck out and singled. Wind up by Whitey. Pitch is on the outside corner. 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Whitey into the windup. Fastball hit on the ground. Skowron, who was right, up with it. Flips to Ford, covering in time to get Woodling. That's 1 away. Brings up Brooks Robinson, who hit into a double play and beat out a bunt. 1 for 2 for Brooks. On deck, Walt Dropo. Whitey Ford checks Clete Boyer. Makes sure he's ready for another possible bunt. Here's the windup. Pitch is in there, strike 1 call. Whitey is mixing up his delivery tonight. He comes overhand, 3/4, and then sidearm. One strike pitch. Fastball popped into short center field. Mantle moving in under it and makes the catch. That's 2 away. Brings up Walt Dropo. Dropo pops to second and bounced to short. Two out, nobody on. Yankees leading 3-0. Whitey's first pitch to Dropo, low inside, ball 1. On deck, Ron Hansen. The 1-0 pitch is hit deep to left, but foul. Boy, he tagged that one way up against the top of Yankee Stadium, but way foul. 1-1 on Dropo. Whitey into the windup. Fastball hit high in the air to short left field. Kubek back. Lopez in. Kubek under it and makes the catch for the out. So for Baltimore in the top of the sixth inning, no runs, no hits, no Yankee errors, nobody left in the score at the end of 5.5 innings. New York 3, Baltimore nothing. Right now, fans, here's a mighty good suggestion. Next time you eat out and treat yourself to a thick, juicy steak, why not go a little bit further? Treat yourself to the big, big taste of Valentine Ale with your steak. The big, big taste that's so good anytime, but especially good at mealtime. Now, here's a refreshing, deeply satisfying taste that's an exclusive with Valentine Ale because the big, big taste comes from Brewer's Gold. And Valentine Ale is the only drink in the world that's brewed with Brewer's Gold. Now, you'll find you really get a drink that's more than a thirst quencher, different than any beer, when you enjoy the big, big taste with fine food. So ask for Valentine Ale with your lunch or dinner and discover what a difference an ale makes. Hector Lopez, who homers in the fourth inning, will lead off for the Yankees here in the bottom of the sixth. Lopez struck out his first time at bat in the second inning. On deck, Elston Howard. Steve Barber out on the mound for Baltimore. Yankees leading 3-0. The windup and the pitch to Lopez is low inside, ball one. The 1-0 pitch is low, ball 2-0. Larry Knapp looking at the ball. It bounced into the dirt. A little action in the stands. Everybody's standing up. Police have it well in hand, though, very quickly. Hector Lopez stepped out of the batter's box to get a look. Now he's back in, ready to go. The 2-0 pitch. High, ball 3, 3-0. Here's a 3-0 delivery. Strike call. Fastball down the middle. Lopez steps back to talk to Larry Knapp. The 3-1 delivery is high, ball 4. The sixth walk given up by Steve Barber. Lopez at first with nobody out. And here's Elston Howard. Howard walked and bounced to the shortstop. Stretched by Barber. Pitch to Howard is taken over, strike one called. Elliott squared around the bunt of the ball and took it. Lopez leading off first. Pitch is hit in the air to center field. Busby is moving in under it. He's got it. That's one away. Brings up Clete Boyer, fly to center and fouled out to third. One away. Lopez at first. 3-0 the Yankees lead, bottom of the sixth. Tony Kubek on deck. Pitch to Boyer is a curve high, ball one. stretch by Barber. Throw to first base. Lopez back. Barber steps again. Another throw to first. Lopez is back. Left-hander picked off Bobby Richardson in the bottom of the first after Bobby had walked. So the Yankees are kind of on the alert now for his pick-off move. 1 ball, no strikes on Boyer. The pitch is hit to short center field. That's a base hit. Lopez around second, going to drive to third. The throw is cut off, and Lopez is in there. Hector Lopez goes from first to third on a broken bat single to short center field by Clete Boyer. And that's the fifth hit off Barber. That'll bring up Tony Kubek, who bounced to second and struck out. Triandos out on the mound talking with Barber. The Yankees lead 3-0, and they're threatening again with runners at first and third and only 1 out. All right, Barber pitching from the stretch position. Pitch to Kubek is a ground ball back to the box, and he goes to second base, and they're not going to get the double play. Kubek trying for second base on the overthrow, and he's in there, and had Barber thrown home, they'd have had Lopez easily. As Kubek hit a ball off the fifth to the right of the mound, Barber backhanded the ball. It was hit slowly. He had no chance for the double play. He wheeled and threw to second, getting the fourth play on Boyer, but Hansen's return throw was nowhere near in time, went to the right of first base, hit the wall. The run scored, and on the overthrow, Kubek went to second base. So it's the fourth play. From 1 to 6, an RBI for Tony Kubek scoring Lopez. The Yankees lead 4-0. And an error will be charged to Ron Hansen on his throw to first base. Clete Boyer and Hansen had some words down there at second base. Boyer slid hard into second base. All right, Kubek is at second with 2 away, 1 run in. The Yankees lead 4-0. Whitey Ford the batter. Whitey struck out and bounced to short. Here's the stretch, and the pitch inside ball 1. Had the ball been hit harder, Barber would have had a double play, but it was hit so slow that Hansen's return throw wasn't close to getting Kubek. Pitch low, ball 2, 2-0. Out, 2-0 on Whitey. Pitch is in there, strike 1 call, 2-1 the count. Barber set. Fastball low, ball 3, 3-1. On deck, Bobby Richardson. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Strike call, full count, 3-2. Kubek at second with 2 away. 3-2 pitch. Low ball for Whitey Ford. And that's the 7th walk given up by Barber. Ford picks up his warm-up jacket on the way down to first base. Richardson steps into the batter's box. Bobby's been on base all 3 times. 2 walks and a single. He scored once. Scored ahead of Maris's home run in the 5th inning. Lopez homered in the 4th inning. The Yankees lead 4-0. Stretch by Barber. Pitch to Richardson is a ground ball to third. Brooks Robinson bobbles it. Up with it and stepping on the bag, laying flat on his back. He reached out with his foot and touched third base for the unassisted force play. The ball scooted underneath Robinson's glove. And as he reached back for it, he just kicked out with his right foot and stepped on third base. Forcing Kubek so for the Yankees in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1 run on 1 base hit, 1 Baltimore error, and 2 men left. And the score at the end of 6 full innings, the Yankees have 4 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and Baltimore no runs on 5 hits and 1 error. Jim Busby is coming out of the Yankee bullpen to move out to left field for defensive purposes. On the scoreboard in the American League, Washington leads Boston 1-0 at the end of 4.5. Cleveland leads Kansas City 4-1 at the end of 7. The White Sox lead Detroit 1-0 at the end of an inning and a half. Minoso homered in the 2nd. In the National League, Phillies 0, Milwaukee 0 at the end of 2.5. Cincinnati now leading the Pirates 3-1 at the end of 2. The Dodgers beat the Cubs this afternoon 5-4. And the Giants lead St. Louis 1-0 at the end of 3. Cepeda homered in the 2nd inning. So Casey Stengel figures with Whitey Ford pitching a strong ball game. He'll put his defensive left fielder in there, Jim Busby. Hector Lopez had himself a good night with a home run and a walk. He drove in a run and scored twice. We're ready to go here in the top of the 7th. And getting ready to take over the microphone. He'll bring you the rest of the game. Will be the voice of the Yankees, Mel Allen.
Hello there, everybody. Thank you, Phil. Jim Busby is in left field for the Yankees. Ron Hansen at bat. Ford's pitch is high, ball 1. Ron Hansen struck out, fly to right. 4-0 New York in the 7th inning. 4 to the windup. The pitch to the right-hand batter swung on and popped high in the air, coming back toward the screen. Howard moving right at the screen and has it. Hansen fouls out to Howard. Now coming up, Gus Triandos. Fly to center and singled to left. Ronnie Hansen and Clete Boyer are exchanging words from the dugout to third still. It started, as you recall, in the last of the 6th on the sliding in from second base. 4 to the windup. The pitch to Triandos outside, ball 1. Gus fly to center, single to left. Here's the pitch, and it's over. Strike 1. 1-1. Gus Triandos batting .261. A 1-1 count. Ford into the windup and the pitch. Swung on, some foul ball out of play to the right of the plate. Dropping out of the upper deck downstairs, almost hit a bender. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Don't hit that man. I can see what he's bending. A 1-2 count on Gus Triandos. Whitey goes to the windup. Here's the pitch. And it's outside. Ball 2, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Ford swings to the windup. Round comes the left arm. The pitch swung on and fouled back to the screen. The count remains 2-2. A 2-2 count on Big Gus. Outfield about straight away. Ford again to the windup. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Outside, ball 3. Full count now. 3-2. Jim Busby's on deck. Whitey to the windup, and the 3-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled off out of play again to the right of the plate, into the upper deck. Once more, the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Struck him out. Two down in the 7th inning. And the batter's Jim Busby grounded to second and singled to center. 5 strikeouts for Ford. Howard's out to talk to Whitey. Asked him something. Whitey looked into the Yankee dugout and with a hand signal indicated something in the negative. He's to the windup and the pitch to Busby. Inside, ball 1. Marv Breeding on deck. Yankee bullpen is working. Now the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, supply ball into center. Mantle moving in under it. And he has it. And the side's retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. And at the end of 6.5 innings, New York 4, Baltimore nothing. Let me give you the good word about something really big. I mean the big taste of Valentine Ale. Pour yourself a glassful and discover its refreshing, satisfying goodness. Enjoy its big difference in taste that comes from Brewer's Gold, a rare strain of hops used exclusively in Valentine's own true ale recipe. You know, Brewer's Gold makes Valentine Ale more than a thirst quencher, different than any beer, because, well, I tell you, this ale just brings out the best in food. You really enjoy your favorite meal even more when you enjoy it along with a big taste of Valentine Ale. So why not see what a difference an ale makes? A Valentine Ale with Brewer's Gold. Now the last half of the 7th inning. Roger Maris, Mickey Mantle, and Bill Skowron coming up. Maris took a 3rd strike, lined to second, and then hit his 39th home run of the year in the 5th inning with Richardson aboard. Batting .282. Left-hander Steve Barber's pitch is inside, ball 1. The left-hander again to the windup, and the pitch in there, strike 1, 1-1. Ball, 1 strike. 1-1 delivery. The count inside ball 2. Started the curve, didn't work well. Now the 2-1 delivery on its way. Barris swings and grounds it out towards second. Breeding is right up with it. Throws on to first in time. 1 away. Mickey Mantle coming up. Struck out. Single to left and walked. Hitting .281. Into the windup and the pitch over the outside corner. Strike 1. 0-1. The 1-strike pitch. Swung on, bounced to deep short. Ron Hansen's long throw gets him. 2 away. Hansen fielded that ball deep into the third base hole and threw him out. Now Bill Skowron drew a walk, popped to second. The next 2 times up. Two outs. Here's the pitch to the Moose. Swung on and fouled off to the right of the plate, out of play. Strike pitch. Swung on, fouled off again to the right of the plate, out of play. 2 strikes down on Moose. No balls, 2 strikes. Left-hander goes to the windup. The pitch swung on, hit foul into the upper deck in left field. Count remains 2 strikes. Steve Barber taking his time. In the 7th, 4-0 New York. Now the left-hander goes to the windup, and the pitch is high, ball 1. A 1-2 count, and the 1-2 delivery. Swung on, grounded to second. Breeding to his left, up with it, throws to Dropo, and the side is retired. No runs. No hits, no errors, no one left on. And at the end of 7 innings of play, New York, 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 6 left on. Baltimore, no runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and 4 left on. There's nothing like a glass of cool Ballantine ale when it teams up with any of your favorite meals. So try the big taste of Ballantine ale and see what a difference an ale makes. We pause for station identification.
On your radio dial. This is Quality Modern, WOKO in Albany, New York. 30 seconds past 10 o'clock.
Detroit leading Chicago 2-1, end of 2 innings. Larry and Gwynn. Minosa homered for the White Sox. Cleveland leading Kansas City 4-2, end of 8. Washington leading Boston 1-0, end of 5.5. In the National League, Philadelphia, Milwaukee scoreless, end of 3.5. Cincinnati 3, Pittsburgh 1 at the end of 3. San Francisco 6, St. Louis nothing at the end of 3.5. This afternoon, Los Angeles beat Chicago 5-4. Marv Breeding will be first up in the 8th inning, and then Dave Philly will pinch hit for Steve Barber. Breeding grounded to third and popped out to first. Batting .270. 4-0 New York, 8th inning. Ford into the windup, and the pitch in there, strike one. Yankee bullpen's busy. Whitey swings to the windup. Round comes the left arm. The pitch is a slow curve. Bounce toward third. Up with it is Boyer on a short hop. Throws to first in time on a good play. One away. And Dave Philly will bat for Steve Barber, switch hitter. He'll bat right-handed against Ford. Hitting .300 for the Orioles, 6 for 20. Jackie Brandt on deck. Ford to the windup, and the pitch. Fastball is bounced toward second. Richardson takes it, throws over to first in time, and they're 2 away. Now up comes Jackie Brandt. Single to left and flies to left twice. Batting .262. New York 4, Baltimore nothing. Gene Woodling on deck. Whitey goes to the windup, and the pitch just outside, ball one. Here's the 1-0 offering. It's over, strike one. Slow curve. 1-1 count. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Jackie Brandt takes a curve over, strike two, another slow curve. 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And the 1-2 pitch. Fastball is hit in the air out into right center. Maris moves over, waiting, and makes the catch, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on, and at the end of 7.5 innings, New York 4, Baltimore nothing.
We'll have a new pitcher for the Orioles when we come in the last of the 8th. The paid attendance tonight is 49,217. An overall total, including servicemen admitted free, of 50,332.
Coming into pitch for Baltimore, number 28.
Skinny Brown is coming in to pitch.
Number 28.
Skinny Brown comes in to do the pitching. Steve Barber worked 7 innings, allowed 5 hits, walked 7, and struck out 5. Good crowd out here tonight, and a lot of folks from out of town. You know, there was some fellow in Cleveland. We were televising, and he kept hollering at me. Had a Yankee cap on in Cleveland. I don't know where he was from, whether it's Buffalo or Jamestown or somewhere. It could have been anywhere along in there. But he kept hollering him downstairs. He wanted to come up and see us. Told him to come up. He never did make it. We never did get to see him. Maybe he'll come up and see us here at Yankee Stadium. That'd be good. hope he didn't wait at one entrance and we came up another, huh? If you did and you're listening in, send us a wire and we'll tell you what happened. Jim Busby leads off in the last of the eighth. Skinny Brown, making his 28th appearance, has won 11 and lost 5. The right-hander into the windup, the pitch, swung on and fouled back up here. Strike one. Jim Busby, who went in for Lopez the last inning, will be followed by Elston Howard and Clete Boyer. Orioles have Woodling Dropo coming up in the ninth inning. Next pitch swung on, grounded to third. Up with it is Robinson, flips to Dropo, and Busby is retired. Elston Howard drew a walk, grounded to short, and flied to right center. One away in the last of the eighth, 4-0 New York. Skinny Brown to the windup, and the pitch swung on. Ground ball hit out to second. Breeding up with it, flips on to Dropo, and Howard is retired. Now Clete Boyer, fly to center, fouled out to third, and single to center. Right-hander Skinny Brown in relief of Steve Barber. Goes to the windup, and the pitch. Inside, ball one. The 1-0 delivery. Inside, ball two, 2-0. Balls, no strikes. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Over, strike one, 2-1. Brown has done a fine job of spot pitching, relief pitching. The veteran taking some of the pressure off those young fireballers. Next pitch is in, strike two, 2-2. He doesn't overpower you, but he sneaks his fastball in here and there. Good curve, slider, knuckleball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 4-0 New York, 8th inning. Brown to the windup, the pitch, and Boyer swings and fouls it back. Count remains 2-2. Now the windup and the 2-2 pitch. Knuckleball fouled upstairs. Count remains 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. And the little fella down there with the baseball uniform on. Here's the pitch, low into the dirt. I bet he's not more than 7 or 8 years old. Got on a Yankee uniform. One modeled after it. Right behind the screen. Hoping one day he'll be on the other side of the screen. The payoff pitch. Swung on, bounced to third. Brooks Robinson takes it, throws on over to first in time, and the side's retired. No runs. No hits, no errors, no one left on, and at the end of 8 innings, New York 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors, 6 left on. Baltimore no runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and 4 left on. Elsewhere in the American League, at the end of 3 innings, Detroit 2, Chicago 1. Larry against Wynn. Minosa homered in the second. Cleveland defeated Kansas City 4-2. Perry, the winner, Garver, the loser. Tuttle homered for the A's, and Delahose, Romano, and Francona all homered in the third for the Indians. Washington 2, Boston 0, end of 6 innings. Stobbs and DeLotte. In the National League,
Milwaukee leading Philadelphia 2-0 end of 4. Spahn and Buzhar. Cincinnati 3, Pittsburgh 2 at the end of 3.5 innings. Witt relieved Haddix in the third for the Pirates. 0-2 pitching for the Reds. San Francisco 6, St. Louis nothing. Last of the fourth. Marichal for the Giants. Simmons relieved by Klein in the fourth for St. Louis. Home runs, Cepeda and Kirkland. Kirkland with one on. Los Angeles beat Chicago this afternoon 5-4. Sherry, the winner, in relief of Drysdale, came on in the seventh. Chapernoff in the eighth in relief of the loser. Ellsworth had started. Howard homered in the sixth with one on. Now to the ninth inning. Gene Woodling up, struck out, singled to right, and grounded to first. New York 4, Baltimore nothing. Woodling batting .282. Whitey Ford gets the sign. Goes to the windup, and the pitch to Woodling. Swung on and fouled back. Strike one. No balls, one strike. Now the windup and the pitch. Low outside, ball one, 1-1. A 1-1 count on Woodling. Forward to the windup and the pitch to Gene. Swung on as the ground ball hit out to second. The throw to first in time. Bobby Richardson had a flash way over his right to grab it. And Woodling is retired. Now Brooks Robinson. Grounded to third into a double play. Beat out a bunt to third and flied to center. Hitting .296. Walt Dropo on deck. One out in the ninth inning. 4-0 New York. Forward to the windup and the pitch to the right-hand batter. Swung on and missed. Strike one. He took a good swing. The windup, and the next pitch swung on to high pop. Back to first. Skowron drifts over in foul ground and makes the catch, and they're two away. 2 outs in the ninth inning. And here now is Walt Dropo. Pops to second, grounded to short, and pops to short. Ron Hansen on deck. Ford studying the sign. Goes to the windup and the pitch to Dropo. Swung on and fouled off to the left of the plate. Strike one. The big man from Moosop, Connecticut. Walter Dropo. Gets the sign, goes to the windup. Here's the pitch. Dropo swings and hits a base hit by short into left center. Mantle up for the ball, tosses back in. Ford had retired 14 men in a row. And Dropo singles with 2 out in the ninth, bringing up Ron Hansen. We're going to have a runner for Dropo. Albie Pearson. Running for Walt Dropo. After Busby had singled in the fifth inning, following Triandos' single, Ford had retired 14 men in a row until the base hit. Pitch to Hansen. Outside, ball one. No strikes. Whitey into the stretch. And the pitch. Outside, ball two. 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Triandos on deck. And the next pitch. In there, strike one, 2-1. He's playing a little shallow out in left, although Hansen's got good power out that way. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled off upstairs. Strike two. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Ninth inning, 4-0 New York. Albie Pearson on first base. Gus Triandos on deck. Stretched by Ford. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled the left of the plate. Count remains 2-2. Pearson returns to first. Whitey gets the sign from Howard. Into the stretch. Throw to first base. Pearson's back. Two balls, 2 strikes. Yankee bullpen's working. Whitey to the stretch. Here's the pitch, and Hansen swings and drives it out to right center. Mantle racing hard and can't get it, and then kicks the ball. And the runners go to second and third. Hansen drops the base hit into right center. Mantle tried for the shoestring catch and couldn't make it. It's a double for Ron Hansen. The batter now is Gus Triandos. Slide to center, single to left, and struck out. Big Gus awaits the pitch. Here it is. High, ball 1. Casey's out of the dugout. Casey out to the mound, talking now with Ford and Howard. Stays in. Now Casey goes back to talk to Ford. Runners on second and third. The wind-up by Ford, the pitch to Triandos. Outside, ball 2. 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. Outside, ball 3. With 2 outs in the ninth, 2 base hits, and a 3-0 count on Gus Triandos. Now the 3-0 delivery. It's in there, strike 1. Here's the windup. And the pitch is outside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. And Casey's out of the dugout. That's all for Ford. First man he's walked in the game. Ford went 8 2/3 innings. giving up 7 hits, 2 here in the ninth, walked 1, struck out 5. We'll have a runner for Triandos. It'll be Gene Stevens. With 2 down the ninth, the Orioles have loaded the bases. And Bobby Shantz is coming out of the bullpen. Bobby Shantz coming on for the 39th time this year. Ford pitched great ball till 2 out in the ninth. 2 base hits and a walk. The Orioles have the bases jammed. Jim Busby is the scheduled batter. Whitey leads. Bobby Shantz taking his warm-up pitch. Albie Pearson is on third, running for Dropo. Hansen is on second, and Gene Stevens, running for Triandos, is on first. Jim Busby moves to the plate, grounded to second, single to center, and fly to center. Three on. 4-0 New York, ninth inning. Shantz gets the sign. 3 men lead away. Here's the pitch. Strike 1. 0-1. Pearson on third, Hansen on second, and Stevens on first. Busby the batter, and Marv Breeding on deck. Three men lead away. The windup. Here's the pitch, and Busby swings and fouls it to the left of the plate. Strike 2. 0-2. Elston Howard goes out now to talk to Bobby Shantz. A 2-strike count on Busby. Balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 3 on. 3 men lead away. The windup. Here's the pitch. High, ball 1, 1-2. Pearson on third, Hansen on second, Stevens on first. 4-0 New York, ninth inning. 3 men widen their lead. The windup. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 2, 2-2. Has missed the corner. More tantalizing moments in this hot pennant race. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, 3 on. 3 men widen their lead. The windup. Here's the pitch. swung on, a ground ball hit down foul. Foul ball. Moose fell down after fielding it. It was a foul ball. Pearson on third, Hansen on second, Stevens on first. Now the windup, and the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, it pops up in the air, but it's coming back and going to be out of play. Count remains 2-2. Count on Jim Busby. Pearson on third, Hansen on second, Stevens on first. They widen their leads, the windup. Here's the pitch. Swung on and hit foul down the third base line. The count remains 2-2. Hansen, Stevens on third, second, and first. They lead away the windup. Here's the pitch. Swung on to base hit into center. Scoring Pearson. Here's Hansen around third. He comes in to score, and it's 4-2. And the Orioles with 2 outs have scored 2 runs. The batter now is Marv Breeding. Jim Busby single to center. Scoring Pearson and Hansen. Stevens stops at second. And the batter is Marv Breeding. Right-hand hitter. Here's the pitch. It's in there, strike one. Breeding grounded to third, pops to first, and grounded to third. A 2-out rally by the Orioles. Chance for the stretch. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. 7-2. Stevens leads off second. Busby off first. The stretch. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, and the ball game is over. And Bobby Chance strikes out Breeding, and the Yankees win it 4-2.
$50,332 sitting through the opener in this big 4-game series tonight. Watch this one end with a very climactic finish as the Yankees win it 4-2. For the Yankees, 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors. For the Baltimore Orioles, and they put on a real old-fashioned Oriole finish, 2 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. The winning pitcher was Whitey Ford, whose record now stands at 10-9. The loser was Steve Barber. It's his 6th defeat. He has won 10. Ford pitched brilliantly for 8 2/3 innings, and then had to be relieved by Chance. Whitey gave up 7 hits, walked 1, struck out 5. The 2 runs were charged to him. Here in the top of the 9th, Chance came on and pitched to 2 men. One was a single to Busby, and then he retired Breeding on 3 pitches, striking him out to end the game. Barber, in his losing cause, pitched 7 innings. 4 runs scored against him were all earned. Gave up 5 hits. He walked 7, and he struck out 5. Skinny Brown, who came on in relief, pitched 1 inning, and he retired the 3 batters necessary. into the game by Roger Maris and by Hector Lopez. Maris's was his 39th of the year. Came in the fifth inning with one man on, and it was a prodigious wallop back into the Yankee bullpen. And Lopez hit to the opposite field just inside the right field foul line for his 9th home run of the year. A play that Jackie Brandt leaped for it, and it bounced off the top of his glove into the right field stand. Big crowd down here in front of us is one of the fans trying to pick a ball off the top of the screen that didn't bounce back into foul territory behind home plate. And right now, finally come up with it. Fans give him a round of applause, as you heard. Quickly looking at the scoreboard, in the National League this afternoon, the Los Angeles Dodgers defeated the Chicago Cubs 5-4. In action tonight, at the end of 5, Milwaukee 3, Philadelphia nothing, and at the end of 4, Cincinnati 3, Pittsburgh 2. And at the end of 3, San Francisco 1, St. Louis Cardinals nothing. In the American League, Cleveland has defeated Kansas City 4-2. And at the end of 7, the Senators lead the Red Sox 2-0. And at the end of 4, the Detroit Tigers are ahead of the Chicago White Sox 2-1. We'd like you to remind you that the ticket office here at the stadium has advised us that box and reserve seats are available for tomorrow afternoon's contest when the Yankees will send Bob Turley against the rookie star for the Orioles, Chuck Estrada, in the second game of this key series. And don't forget that tomorrow's Ladies' Day. The stadium and the stadium ticket offices will open at 10:30 a.m., both tomorrow and for Sunday's doubleheader. So remember, fans, that both box and reserved seats are available for tomorrow, and reserved seats are available for Sunday's doubleheader. Big series here, and you won't want to miss it, so come on down to the stadium if you have an opportunity. We'd like you to remind you that tomorrow, airtime will be 1:55, and Atlantic and Valentine will be very happy to bring all the action to you. Well, it winds up another Valentine baseball broadcast. Tune in for more baseball tomorrow afternoon, as we told you, at 1:55. For now, this is Bill Creasy speaking for Mel Allen, Phil Rizzuto, Red Barber, Packy McFarland, and Pappy Durkin, saying that's all for now from the Atlantic Refining Company and your Atlantic dealer, who offer you Atlantic Imperial, the gasoline that cleans your carburetor and keeps it clean. And P. Valentine & Son, brewers of the crisp refresher, Valentine Beer, the largest selling beer in the East. Just a reminder that this broadcast is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the New York Yankees, solely for the entertainment of our listening audience, and any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the description and accounts of this game without the express consent of the Yankees and the American League is prohibited. Final score once again, Yankees 4, Orioles 2. This is the Home of Champions Network.
This is radio station WOKO, 1460 on your radio dial.